Good evening, all you fine, sexy silver stackers out there. We have quite the crowd gathering during the intro, so I appreciate you guys getting cozy, grabbing your hot cup of tea, sitting back, putting your feet up on the coffee table, and relaxing, enjoying the show. We have a lot of greetings to do here before we get really too deep into the discussion today. Dennis coming in first, followed by, listen to this, guys. This is within 2 seconds, Diesel right behind. So, man, Dennis and Diesel, thanks for stopping in here first. Stop beating the Dragoon. It might roar, right? How's it going? Reckless, thanks for stopping in here. Appreciate you very much. Pajama Jammies himself, PJ's coming in the house. Appreciate you. Like the intro? Yeah, I put a little work into it. Me and Dr. AI really went to work on that. Penny Scout, my man, thanks for being here. Novice Prep as well. Don't be fooled, baby. Rick and Alaskan Andrew, how is everybody gonna do? Alaskan Andrew's coming straight, just walks in, he grabs the microphone, and he just drops questions right out the gate. Let's do it. All right. What do you think of the gamma squeeze happening with SLV, even though it's pennies in the grand scheme? The silver short that TD Securities took heavy losses on SLV. Short a second time. You know, I was watching somebody talk about that, and I do find it interesting how many institutions and banks are shorting not just stuff like SLV, but also the paper contracts and things. That's a risky gamble. I don't know what side of the coin they're really betting on. I mean, are they betting on that their combined powers, kind of like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers or something, with their powers combined, they can push the price down and everybody, all of them get rich while the rest of us get mad? I don't know. Look at that panda face. I'll be curious to see what their actual plan is there. We got some American Silver Eagles on the table. Why do you guys think that is? Why do you think we're going to talk about American Silver Eagles today? Anyway, good evening, Rick. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Hit the thumbs up if you got a second. So Silver had a little show going on last night, didn't it? Kind of Asian markets open. We get like this big, massive, like 7.5% pullback. You know, if you look at the chart, it's really nothing, because at this point we move up so fast, like 7.5%. What's that? What's that, guys? It doesn't even shoot. I brush that off before I even get my morning coffee these days. But then it rebounded and it recovered and it dang near broke back out the top. So that's that kind of, I don't know, kind of tells you something. You know, you got also Alaskan Andrew talking about your question when you came in here. The other thing was interesting is that JP Morgan, like as far as we can all tell, is pretty long on silver, right? Hundreds of millions of ounces in their possession. They've apparently liquidated their short positions. They are working with that Korean zinc company to build a refinery in the United States of America in Tennessee. I don't know, man. I don't know. Melt price on Beanie Babies, Rick. I don't think it's very high. But let me know after you've melted some down and refined them, what you get for them when you go to the store to sell them. I'd be interested. Best of luck with that. Best of luck right there. Huh? Wish you the best. What's going on, Logan? Dragoon. Yeah, the goon. Wait, that's what I was on a live stream last night. I got out of coaching some lacrosse practice. I really enjoy that, man. It's like my element. My element, being able to teach and lead and be an example for people. I really do love it. And just seeing like people grow and develop day after day after day. It's very satisfying and rewarding just to like be on that turf again or be on that field again for the first time each year as, you know, the season starts up again. It's such a good feeling. Anyway, I kind of like went on the sidebar there, but I love it, man. I love it. But yeah, so here we go. Let's go ahead and flip the script here, and let's take a look at where we're at and try to figure out where we're gonna go. That's the whole purpose here is we do the best we can with what we got to figure this all out, right? Figure this game out. Currently, looks like we're gonna have a softer day, and if we have this swing that we had yesterday, I would expect we're probably gonna, you know, normally your Thursdays and Fridays are rough days typically, right? People closing positions and kind of getting ready to go into the weekend, especially with a extended weekend. You know, on Monday, a lot of federal holidays, a lot of people out of work and things on Monday. So you typically kind of see people not wanting to deal with the surprise on a Tuesday morning. Haha, gotcha. You're down 15%, right? So they close positions. And here we are. We are just barely scratching the surface of a down day. And again, if we have anything at all like the swing from yesterday, then you know we're poised to break even or have even a positive closeout to the week, which would be kind of crazy considering we've got another COMEX margin change. We got the holiday. We've got we're coming up mid-January now too. So we're going to start having some contract rollover discussions going into February soon. Like there's a lot going on and we're still hanging tough, man. It's pretty good. Funny thing, I've got a bunch of them things on cases from when I was a kid. Diesel, are you talking about Beanie Babies? Yeah, I mean, I think that anybody who's probably over 40, I don't know, maybe over 45, you know, their parents were sucked up in that, weren't they? The Beanie Baby thing was a pretty big deal, but there's always been some sort of, you know, Stanley Cups or what, you know, there's always, you know, Yeti coolers for those of us, you know, the men out there. There's always been something that kind of like in a weird way became sort of this, I don't know, weird retail frenzy item. Beanie Babies were pretty crazy though, what people were getting for them, what people were paying for them. Like, remember the Princess Diana Beanie Baby and stuff, man? That was big money in that. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Gold, $4,600. That's pretty nice. Silver, $91.19. Platinum, $2,375. Palladium, $1,776. Hoorah! Look at this. I like it. Take a screenshot. Grab that thing. Palladium. Oh, never mind. It was too slow, folks. Luckily, it was on the recording, so you can go back and get it. You can go back there and get it. Palladium was at 1776. Let's go. Freedom. What's up, Gen X Silver Stacker? Hello, hello. If you guys are new here to the live stream, I do appreciate you guys being here. We do take the first few minutes. We kind of just go over the current markets. We get everybody a chance to grab a beverage and trickle in and get, you know, take their shoes off and relax, put their hair down, you know, whatever they got to do. And we'll have some fun. Yeah, I'm just drinking my coffee. We're getting everybody settled, and then we'll go into sort of our topic, and then we kind of circle back and see where things are going. I don't know if I'm going to do much charting today. Sometimes we do it. We'll see what questions you guys ask and what you guys are into today. But like, again, I can't stress enough. Let's just summarize this chart as extremely bullish in the 3-month chart. I mean, is that fair enough? Do we really need to say much else about this? I don't even know. It's just absurd. I'll let somebody else try to figure out some negatives in this. You know, you got like cup and handles and cup and handles and cup and handles and bull flags, and geez, you can't go more bottom left to top right trajectory than this anywhere. Making some tea, my man. That's why I got a little bit right there myself. I got a little nighttime sleepy tea, you know? Not that I'm gonna fall asleep after this. I don't know about you guys, but I get so jazzed up after these freaking live streams, man. I can't sleep for hours afterwards. I just lay there till like 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, just thinking about stuff, thinking about what I want to talk about, what I want to do, what's interesting, trying to like research and read. I can't sleep. Dub C in the house, my man. Dub C, the human encyclopedia of coinage and numismatic items. I love it. Thanks for being here. Silver fad paid off, Rick. It did. It's Rick. Are you? Yeah, I'm all for like the contrarian view. Are you somebody, Rick, who has basically, you've tripled, quadrupled, quintupled your money, and you've basically started selling out of your position, taking those profits and rolling them into the next asset class that you believe is going to perform better than silver? And if you did, I'm curious, like, what are you looking at that you want to move into? Because I'm having trouble right now trying to find anything that I would be willing to move into in terms of like growth that I believe is going to outpace silver in 2026. So I'm curious to see what you guys are doing. If you are somebody that's in that position, I personally have been just transitioning to gold for literally the opposite reason. I actually kind of want the money in precious metals to slow down. I'm not trying to trade my precious metals. Like, I'm trying to just get them, hold them, and have them out of the banking system and be like a soft hedge against inflation and crazy bank legislation and the world that we're in right now. You know what I'm saying? Central bank digital currency kind of speak and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Dub, I sold a couple intaglio rounds today. Hurt my heart. Oh, the intaglio rounds are so hard. I have one like right here, dude. Look at this. Look at this. Here, is this gonna work today? I have one right here. This is one of my favorites from the intaglio mint. Very simple one. Look at that. Ooh, what a beaut. What a beaut. Because I can't find any of the $50 for like a reasonable price. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go buy a silver coin of it. But yeah, today we're talking about the American Silver freaking Eagle. All right. ASEs, boys. You know, it doesn't get much better than that. It's a beautiful coin. If you've never held one of these coins, I'm just gonna here. Hold on. We gotta do this. Gotta do this for the slow folk out there. Hold on 1 second. Bear with me. Oh, it didn't work. Hold on. It didn't work. Reset. Let's go here. Bam. Hit it. All right, y'all got it. Okay, going back. American Silver Eagle, U.S. Mint is having issues, ladies and gentlemen. It's having issues, and it's had me thinking. You know, anybody who's owned one of these coins, I feel like you appreciate the luster, the beauty, the fineness, the craftsmanship, the patriotism of this coin. I mean, it's big, it's chunky. It says it weighs an ounce, but I swear to God, it feels like it weighs 10 ounces. It's such a stonk, right? I love this thing. You got to get one if you don't have one. I mean, it's not, you know, that's not financial advice. That's just telling me, like, you know, like, if you need like a Razor 4x4 out there in your property, you need to get one. If you need a riding, you know, John Deere tractor or something, you need to get it. You need to get yourself, if you're a silver stacker and you don't have an American Silver Eagle and you live in America, goodness, you gotta get one of these bad boys. So I don't know if anybody on that poll put no. I haven't looked at the poll results up there, guys. I'm gonna look at them later and call you out. Get yourself one of these bad boys. I tell you what, this thing, in my opinion, will change your mind about silver stacking pretty quick. Not that, again, nothing against the Britannias and the Kooks and all those things and the Maples and all that stuff. They're nice too. They are nice. They got some cool security features and, you know, holograms and, you know, pretties and all that. I'll tell you what, this zombie right here, this American Silver Eagle, is a gosh darn beautiful thing. You got to get one right there. Mexican made. No, American made. Oh, I'm mixed. Okay, and Mexican coinage is nice too. All right, but we live in a different kind of a state and country here. Anyway, yeah. So I picked up the proof straight from the Philadelphia Mint right there. I also picked up a first day of issue. This is the 2021 Eagle Landing Type 2 first day of issue MS70. Now, again, Dragoon, why are you talking about American Silver Eagles? Nobody care? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, these things are great. I'm talking about them because I think we might be in a little bit of a black swan event here. And my man Stapler, this is the guy that was chatting with me this afternoon. He sent me this text, this little innocent little text. He said, "Hey man, you think there's going to be a shortage on American Silver Eagles in 2026? And what do you guys think I did? What do you think my options were? What do you think I did? Did I take 5 seconds to go and research to see if there's any probable reason why that would be the case? That would be option 1. Option 2 is that I instantly went online and bought a MS70 graded 2026 American Silver Eagle pre-order the exact second I got the text, because I said, you know what? We ball, right? What do you guys think I did? 1 or 2? I'll let you figure that one out. That probably isn't that hard to figure out. But needless to say, I had that sucker ordered before I even sent the reply text. And I sent the reply text was, what makes you think there's going to be a shortage, man? I was like, as far as I know, the only thing I know is this right here, man, is that the official site says this. So you guys can blame Stapler for my recent order. All I know is what the U.S. Mint is currently dealing with. Now, well, actually, we know a few pieces of corroborating evidence that might suggest that this could be a low mintage year. And I've got As any good journalist would do, I used AI to formulate all the data for me, and it did not check its sources. But I went ahead and I got all the mintages by year and the percentage change, so we can maybe corroborate some years where mintages were shorter than others to try to identify if there might be some logical reasoning behind the idea that there could be a shortage of 2026 MS70s out there. So, if you haven't heard, the U.S. Mint has suspended, and we're gonna validate that right this second live, has suspended silver numismatic collectible products. They have been temporarily removed from sale as we evaluate pricing across our entire numismatic portfolio. Products will be placed back on sale as soon as prices are adjusted. American Silver Eagle bullion coins remain available for purchase through our network of authorized purchasers, which is where I purchased mine from. What's up, Penny? What's going on? I just noticed that is first day of issue. Not that it matters much, but that is still cool. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got a few different coins up there. So, all right. So we go here. We go shop a lock. We want to buy some stuff. I want to spend my money with the U.S. Mint here. All right. So we go to American Eagle coins. That would be platinum. All right. View more products. We're gonna get to silver eventually, right? Not available. Not available. Not available. ¿Por qué, jefe? Not available, not available, not available. $95. I mean, you're making some money. I'm sorry. But we all know that this didn't cost them nearly 95 bucks to make. They got this silver probably before yesterday. You know what I mean? I don't know why they can't just accept and lock in their profit margins. 2023 American Eagle. Like, do you really have to ride the constant changes in the spot price? Can't you just sell these suckers for like 80 bucks and still make a hell of a lot of money? Anyway, that's a little bit greedy, but I never got my Marine Pretty. Yeah, they have all sorts of, it's great, man. I highly recommend, if you get a chance to go to Philadelphia, go check out the Mint. It was actually a pretty good experience. A lot of, good people, good knowledgeable people. But anyway, it's all not available. Even the limited stuff is still not available. So you can't order it if you really wanted to. So confirmed that the U.S. Mint has suspended the direct purchase of numismatic American Silver Eagles. All right, we got one corroborating piece of evidence right there. Good evening from Colorado Springs. Big Green Stacker, thanks for being here. Appreciate you saying hello. And Top G, silver going to 150 to 200 by spring. Oh, that would be a nice thaw out, huh? Come out of the winter at $200. Buckaroos, I'll take it. I will take it. I'll never say no to that. I got some Eagles in the UK, says Michael Vine. Heck yeah, nice find. Dragoon, ASEs or Libertads? Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Dub C, I'm going to have to defer because I have actually never owned a very nice, pure Mexican Libertad. So I can't comment, but I will say I like the American Silver Eagle. I do. It's just, I like the size. It stands out. It's just bigger, bolder, badder. It's like everything that America stands for right there. You know what I mean? But no, the Mexican silver, Mexican gold is very close second for me on pretty much all coinage because of this, just the beauty and the detail in it, the work. Craftsmanship is really nice. I do like all that stuff as well. I love watching the people that do own a lot of that stuff show it off. It's very fun. All right. So let's look at this. All right. So we know that there's that issue. I did an entire video 2 days ago, and I'm not going to rehash it, but I did an entire video 2 days ago where we discussed the fact that there are significantly more outstanding March contracts that could stand for delivery of physical silver. And if they do, are basically going to wipe out the available physical silver in the United States. And here's an article that you can't read because it's so tiny. Let me zoom in. Enhance. Here's an article from David Jensen. Just came out a couple days ago. Talking about how London's silver problem is distressing the global silver availability. So, like, we all know the LBMA is pretty much out of silver and scrambling, clawing, from its grave, trying to get silver before so they can deliver to people. We know that China is restricting exports. You know, you have to have like approval and everything has to go through processing before it gets exported out of China, and only certain people or certain entities are being allowed to even do it. So there's that global trade restriction that's kind of happening in general. London is being restricted. I mean, which kind of indicates to me that we're kind of like, you're kind of like on an island called North and South and Central America, I guess, the Western Hemisphere. And it's kind of feeling like that's where you got to secure your supply of silver or you ain't gonna get none, right? Get what I'm saying? Dub C, all good, but here's another piece of corroborating evidence. Mexico just released the mintage of their 2025 pieces. Dub, help me understand how that affects 2026. Are you saying that they're like a year behind? Wholesome One, thanks for coming back in, man. I appreciate seeing all of you return visitors that are engaging in the chat, man. You guys really do make this a lot of fun to talk about, especially as these silver prices just keep, I ignore the minus today. Let's be honest. We're talking, guys. I bought a $115 1 ounce piece of silver today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I bought this right here. I'll show you what I bought. I'll show you exactly what I bought. I think, honestly, I'm going to be quite frank with you guys. I think every one of you should go out there and get one right now before this thing right here says out of stock. I swear. I think that you should probably go secure one of these before they're not available. I'm not trying to pump and dump you because I got no skin in this game, but first day of issue MS70 124 and just a regular MS70 2026 Eagle. Yeah, I don't think these are going to be available. And I also say that because I went on like some of the other sites and I did the exact same thing. And I am starting to see them already saying like out of stock, even like for the pre-orders, they're not doing it. So here's one right here. This is not even graded, mind you. This is just BU. So we can assume it's probably like MS67 or higher, I would guess. But you can buy one right there for probably more than 104 once you get into it. Yeah, 106 ungraded, right? But they're all kind of like, and then you go down here and we're like out of stock on like pretty much all of these suckers. So I don't know. Do whatever's best for you. But I can tell you this. I'm getting the feeling that 2026 is going to be one of those years. At the very least, even if like it doesn't become like a short mintage sought after collectible in 20 years or something, at the very least, I'd like to own it just to be like, yeah, I remember 2026. That was freaking wild, right? Like what's going on with silver? It'll be just a memento. Lee Cummings, what's going on here? Let me get caught up on what you guys are talking about. Going to 150 in February. Let's go. Handpan Yogi. We hope so, buddy. We hope so. I am of the impression, I've said it, and I have to stick with my guns. I can't go back on my word, right? I think that it's going to be $100 at March when all the contracts go up, come up, and then that will be the point where, can I go back to the CM group, markets, silver settlements? We can just, I said I didn't want to hash this back out. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Did this change? Yeah. No, it didn't. Okay. It did, but not as much. So still a lot more volume being traded. These are, I guess I got to give context now that I opened the screen here. This is direct from the CME group. These are the actual silver contracts being traded. So the volume of trade on the March contracts is 215,000. I know that you guys aren't going to get the perspective that we talked about last time about 2025 and 2024. But let's just tell you this. There's currently 101,000 open contracts. 101,000 open contracts. Each contract is 5,000 ounces of silver. That would be a total of possible coming due in 1 month, 500 million ounces of silver. It's not likely that all of these will come to, stand for delivery. Most likely 25% of them will. But even then, that's 25,000 contracts at 5,000 ounces each. That's going to put a massive, ridiculous strain on the physical silver and the delivery prospects, and it's not like anything's clearing up between now and March. So my theory, if you guys are just joining for the first time, you're just checking out the channel for the first time, is that in March we're going to have some sort of like a pretty big event that's going to drastically alter the way that we handle silver on the COMEX and stuff. So anyway, yeah, so we got London having problems with delivery already. Jensen, thank you so much. The London vaults at the end of the summer held 185 million ounces. By the way, we just talked about well over what that was going to be. That was not claimed by ETFs, implying a 45 million ounce silver buffer, raising London's nose above the waterline. That London silver market may have 1,400 tons of silver available to market is terrific. However, the scale of the visible London silver problem indicates that intensifying buying of physical silver globally can be expected. So this is basically saying what we all kind of know, is that it's still increasing, and it is. We actually went through last stream. We went through the data showing that every single month it's growing. The volume of trade and the volume being stood for delivery. London trading data indicates that gross trading volumes in the London silver market surpasses 700 million ounces. This is just trading. This isn't like delivery. This translates into an estimated 2 billion ounces or 62,000 tons of cash spot market claims for immediate silver ownership standing in the London market. So like they're at like, they're thin. They're about to crack. Like it all could come cracking down. One price for 1 ounce Britannia coin is now equivalent to 141 US dollars here in the UK. Lee Cummings. Wow. Not necessarily, but the standard 1 ounce Libertad. 2023 equals 613,000. 2024 700. Okay, equals 300,000 or 300 dub. Only 300 minted or 300,000. Got to be 300,000, right? I started stacking in February of 2025 and wanted to stack more, so I hope silver drops to mid to low 80s. Big green stacker, I don't know I think that there's a chance for a pretty large pullback like that. I just don't see it yet because there's so much pressure for the price to stay elevated because there's still so much global demand and hype and hoopla. And I'm not talking about mom and pop going to the local coin shop buying, gold and silver and selling their precious metals, sterling silver, stuff like that. I'm talking about like the demand from just the industrial demand, as well as the demand of traders on COMEX realizing that I kind of want the physical for the price that I paid because I can probably get more out of it than rolling over my contract, right? I just ordered that Coronation of the King from JM today. Awesome, man. I pick up a lot of those little cool coins and deals every now and then. So Dub C is saying that the 2025 Mexican Libertad, I believe the 1 ounce silver piece, there's only 300 minted in the world. Okay, let's go ahead and add that to corroborating evidence number 2 for our proclamation that 2026 may be a low mintage year that we want to collect. The 1/10 ounce gold. Heck yeah! Oh, nice. Big green stacker. I picked up a 1/10 ounce Commander series, the Scottsdale Mint Commander series. I picked up the Caesar piece recently. I could show it, but I just don't have my gold kind of like unlocked, so to speak. WC, do you think the ratio is worth trading about 11 ounces for 2 1/10 ounce gold coin rounds? I would say yes. If you want my advice, Silver Serpents, we'll see what Dub C says. I think trading 11 ounces for 2/10 of gold is a very fair deal, especially with the gold to silver ratio currently at $50. That seems very fair to me. Yeah, I think it will pull back into the mid 70s. Well, I'm not done with my goals yet. That is my hopes. Yeah, a lot of people, silver has priced us out. I bought 2 more half-ounce pieces today to go with my American Silver Eagle because I'm starting to believe in that fractional silver, because I do believe in that fractional silver because like a lot of you guys are talking about is we're getting priced out of silver. If silver does go to this $200, $300, $400 an ounce, that's a lot of money, guys. We went on like one of the very first live broadcasts we did. We talked about personal finance for people, and we talked about how most people in America, at least, don't even have $1,000 cash to save up for an emergency. We're talking $300 silver ounces. Like, that's not going to be a priority for people to spend $300 on an ounce. So I do think that when you start seeing this stuff, you start seeing these fractional silver coins Where is that section here? Fractionals, fractionals, fractionals. You know, you can never find something when you actually want to find it. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, I don't know where it is, but you get my point. Um, it is, there we go. Fractional silver rounds. And I bought some of these guys right here. No shame. No shame for the premium or nothing. $100 an ounce. I bought them because I do think that there's going to be a future where these are good. Now, trust me, if you guys, again, if you don't know who I am, like, I am big on constitutional silver. I have got a pretty decent stack of $half, and I'm continuing to grow that stack of $half. But the reality is that the most, like, the layman, the mogul, or whatever, muggles from Harry Potter, the people that don't really stack, they just hear about silver and just want to go buy some silver, they're going to want the pure 999 stuff that says on the piece of silver, you know, this is half an ounce of silver. Right? That's what the moguls are going to get. The aficionados might understand the value of 90%, but not everybody's going to understand that. Silver was $29.60 this time last year. Today it's over $90. Isn't that insane, Wholesome One? Isn't that just absolutely insane? We have come a long way, and we're going to get back to our American Silver Eagle chat. I promise. We're going to get back to the American Silver Eagle chat about 2026. I'm going to go through some historic dates where we had lower mintages. I'm sure some of you can guess what years in the recent, you know, decades we had low mintages of American Silver Eagles. But I'm going to use those as reference points. Dragoon, I found a coin shop in Albuquerque. I just answered that question. I think it is a good deal. Hold on. Is that the same question? Sell gold, NPM 1/10 rounds for spot price. Good deal. I think anytime you can buy at spot or trade for a round spot, I think it's a good deal. I think it's a fair deal. So if that's your goals, right? If your goals are to acquire gold right now for trading your silver, then I think that sounds more than fair. Absolutely. But again, if anybody else, and Dub C, not like, this is an open forum, man. We are a community of people just trying to have conversation about precious metals. So anybody who has opinions, you're always welcome to share your opinion. You can even be a jerk if you want. I don't really care. And that gives us something to discuss as a group. Just remember, if you put it out, you got to be able to take it. That's all I got to say. That is the real question. $300 per ounce demands better quality. Will 90% value tank or go up? I don't know, man. I don't know, Penny Scout. I would imagine they're going to continue just to melt everything that they can so that they can turn it all back out as higher premium, low mintage stuff. You know, like all these art bars and all these specialty silver pieces and stuff that we all have access to buy, right? Like let's be real. What's their deals? What's their main site? Like, you know, all this stuff, they might say limited supply of 2,000 minted or something, right? Well, guess what? Like, probably 90% of that over the time is going to get melted back down into the next feature 10 years from now. That is 500 minted or 10,000 minted, right? And then 90% of that's going to get melted down and turned into the next feature. So over time, these sort of like specialty pieces, they get like tighter and tighter and tighter and more scarce and rare because they just get melted down, just like 90% does, just like 35 does. Hey, Stapler, thank you so much for gifting channel memberships to everybody. Real quick, shameless plug. If you guys are new to the channel, we do giveaways from time to time, and channel members, whenever we do giveaways, channel members always get extra entries into the giveaway, even if they're not like, you know, even if they didn't get the channel membership themselves, it was just gifted to them, they're still entered into that. That 7 Deadly Sins series is also really cool. Anyway, I feel like I'm an SD boy, and maybe we should start looking at JM boy and just something else. Go to Money Metals. Give them some love. There you go. Money Metals is on the screen. Yeah, thank you so much, Stapler. Appreciate that. And if you guys got gifted a channel membership, say thank you to my man right there helping us out. I want to start picking up some fractional Libertads. I'm not sure what size, possibly 1/4. I think 1/4 is a good size, Reckless. I mean, again, it's just what is your goal with your silver? I even picked up some 1/10 ounce pieces of silver, but mostly I got those because I just want to check them out. Honestly, I want to see what I like about them, what I dislike about them, and I also want to use them for giveaways. I figure that'll be a good size to pass to people, especially when silver breaks $100 an ounce. It's a little $10 silver piece. It looks cool, something that people can hold and enjoy. I've been tempted to trade in a tube of maples for a 1/2 ounce of gold. Wholesome One, you guys are talking to the wrong guy. If you want me to talk you down off that, I have been trading silver for gold since about $70 an ounce. So I'm the wrong guy. You're all lucky in the USA. We get ripped off in the UK. Yeah, I know. You guys had that VAT. Michael Vine. Most people that come in here from the European nations or UK, they talk about that VAT, and I feel so bad for them, dude. I feel so bad for them. I just found out that in California, you have to purchase $2,000 in an order for silver, or they charge you 9% state sales tax if you don't order $2,000. Isn't that insane? I just heard that and I was like, that is crazy. All right, Penny. The way I look at it, the more they melt of 9%, the more value mine gets. Yeah. I mean, if you've got numismatic pieces for sure, like I have a 1938D walking, walking Liberty, $50. It's a pretty valuable piece and it's in decent condition, right? Stuff like that. What's up, Sober Stacker, my man, coming in here. Yeah, the 106 pounds at bullion by post is ridiculous. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so corroborating evidence number one, the U.S. Mint is currently under pressure. Again, do you guys believe that this is about price changes, or is this possibly the fact that maybe they are having trouble getting silver and they need to quell demand? And the only way they can quell demand legally is to just basically make the product unavailable, unobtainium, so to speak, some people say. Or do you think they really do have just like some sort of red tape about changing prices? I just don't get it, because I mean, it would take me legitimately less than a day to go into the US Mint's system and to update their code to have a dynamic pricing structure where we could categorize every single piece of coinage that they have. And I could do spot price plus X to give them their margins, and their price changes would update every single time their price change happened on Kitco if I wanted to. So I know I could do that. They could probably figure this out. So there's got to be a reason why they said, you know what's better right now? Just to not even sell this stuff to the general public. Let's just sell it to our suppliers. So my assumption, that leads me to believe that they might need time to shore up product to produce more. But again, I don't have any facts about that. This is a speculation right now. We also have the London tightness. We also have the fact that, like Dub C just said, apparently Mexico Libertades, there's only 300 centavos minted, which is insane for a coin. Okay, let's look at one more thing here. Let's look at this. I had a little XAI support here to look up information about shortages that have happened in the past. So there were some shortages. Says there have been several periods of reported planchette shortages or supply constraints affecting American silver eagle production. Okay. So basically it's like, yes, it has happened in the past. So I asked for detailed dates, like show me what the mintages were year over year and compare them. So here we go. 2007, they only minted 9 million. That's pretty low, considering like you're looking at the average here is like 35 million. So if they only minted 9 million, that's a low mintage year. 2007, pre-shortage baseline, normal production. Okay, so this was normal for that timeline, and then they obviously increased production a lot. Rationing and suspension, mintage doubled. They doubled to meet demand. So a massive spurt of demand happened, and they decided, you know, hey, what, we need to double our production to meet this demand. So there we go. But the collectibles halted mid-year. No collectibles were produced in this year. Brief bullion suspension, but record high output. So they just minted like crazy. Again, you can see demand was probably going up, so they just kept minting and minting and minting. All right, so we're getting there, guys. We're getting to it. Okay. Focus in. Pajama. I'm squirrel, dude. Squirrel nut. Go right. Absolutely not any numismatic. It is just nice to see premiums on 9%. It has fun value after you wash it. Oh, Penny Scout's talking about washing silver again. All right, turn off the stream. No, I'm just kidding. Post-shortage peak, no major constraints. Allocation until September, proofs resumed, but limited, high mintage sustained. So we had no collectible proofs. So again, if you're gonna buy anything from 2026, I mean, it sounds like getting a really nice, PF70 proof would be a good idea as well. So I will probably pick one of those up, as well as my my MS70. Why not, right? At the very least, it's like having a dumpster fire trash can from back in like 2008 or whatever it was. You just want to have something to remember the year. All right, let's get into some actual shortages. Yada, 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 yada. All right, low pre-COVID baseline. So COVID shut things down. People couldn't go to work. Production had to be halted on a lot of things across the entire country. So 2019, we had a pretty dramatic drop-off in the mintage, right? 14,863,500. Pretty significant drop. More than 50% drop there. Matt Wingy, what's going on, dude? Thanks for being here. All right. We picked back up in emergency production. So COVID shutdowns in emergency production, mintage doubled but disrupted. So 2020, they tried to come back. 2021, supply chain strains amid design change. Also remember, like we had big bottlenecks of shipping containers being unloaded off the coast, et cetera, et cetera. We had a lot going on, right? Okay, now here's the next shortage. So really, we've only had 2019, we've had 2022. The next shortage is planchette procurement issues. Half of strong demand years per complaints. So here's what I'm thinking. We know that there's massive demand for silver in 2026. That's a given, right? 2026 is guaranteed to have a massive demand for silver, and especially like American Silver Eagle and bullion style silver. We all know this. You have to be blind, deaf, and dumb to not know that there's massive demand, all-time high massive demand in this year and the end of last year. All right? So we know the demand's going to be there to gobble up the supply, and there's probably going to be a lot of like new people picking them up. There's probably going to be a lot of diamond hands collectors and old school hoarders and stackers going to be picking this stuff up too. The question's going to be is, will there be planchette procurement issues? Meaning, is there going to be enough silver at the refineries and the places where they make the planchettes so that they can ship them to the U.S. Mint, so the U.S. Mint can mint them with the dies? That's going to be the real question. That's the unknown here, but that we're trying to like speculate and discern. Anyway, my idea here is, again, worst case, the very worst case. My worst case scenario is that I own a very nice PF70 proof American Silver Eagle from 2026 and a very nice MS70 American Silver Eagle uncirculated that I can have in my stack to hold and be beloved and to remember this wild ride that we're on. I'm probably going to go back and pick up a 2025 as well, because this has just been like an all-time exciting, euphoric time for silver and gold and everything else. So like, why not have those pieces to commemorate these years? That's the worst case. So the worst case is they're going to be spot price plus a little bit of a premium, right, for being a perfect graded coin. That's my worst case scenario. The best case scenario is that they actually do become low mintage, hard to find, high graded collector pieces that will be hard for other people to get a hold of in the future, after this year, when like production has been stopped, whatever little production there might be, and we've gone into a world of post-production into the next cycle where things have probably stabilized and come back. So that is what I'm thinking. The mint is buying silver from China, hence World War III. Well, if we're buying silver from China, why would we be trying to start World War III? That would kind of stop. That would stop a lot of that trade and export there, right there. China is trying to crash the party 2 nights in a row. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Coin Show had 2026 Eagles early release for $130. Yeah, I bought one today. I spent the most money I've ever spent on a piece, on 1 ounce piece of silver today. For brand new silver, I guess. I mean, is that true? Yeah, I think it is. I don't really buy a lot of the numismatic, like highly collectible stuff. So for me, that is kind of, yeah, the 100 and I think it was like after tax, or not tax. I think it was like 115 maybe. $115. So that's, or 116, somewhere in that range. That was a lot. That was a lot. I will say. I did not expect that. So we had a down day yesterday, and we had a down day today so far. I do think that we'll probably stabilize and be close to, I don't know, my prediction is we're going to be close, hopefully, to breaking even, staying around that $89 and $90 range as we go into the extended holidays, or the extended weekend from the holiday this weekend. We'll see, though. It's not like that big of a deal either way. Let me flash back to the coins. You got to flash some coinage every now and then, show some cleavage, keep them interested. Then we can go back. But yeah, we're showing off some of the American Silver Eagles we got out on the table. I also have, I think I have an order for 6 more American Silver Eagles that I purchased at $88 a piece. Those should be arriving sometime in a week or so, I think. I bought those from an online auction. That was a lot of fun to be a part of. So, yeah, those were like assorted dates, 2021, 2022, stuff like that. So, Once I get them in, I'll add them in, and I'm gonna keep 1 or 2 of them out actually to tone. I want to get some toners, and so I think I'm gonna keep some out just on the desk, you know, and let them soak up some rays. I don't know. Let them get some oxidization and see what happens. Nice cleavers. I appreciate you, Matt Wingy. Where's silver going the next month? You know, that's the question, right? I think that we're going to bounce around in a channel. You're just asking months. It's so hard to determine a month, man. I can barely determine an hour these days. It goes so fast. We had a pretty good channel for a while there. I mean, we had like that 70, I don't even know, 75 to 84 type range that we stabilized in for quite a while. It just, man, I don't want giving numbers and predictions, but oh look, I have a trend line that just pops up out of nowhere. But we kind of stayed in there for a long enough period of time, and then we broke out. Obviously, we all know. Like, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I do think that we're going to establish another channel, probably in the same thing. I mean, we didn't even come down far enough to really test. We tested 84 one time. This chart, by the way, do you guys remember when I drew that chart, that live stream where I drew the chart and I said, "Hey, we want to break out of this. We want to test it, and then we want to run." Wow, isn't it crazy? That's what we did. The good and the bad is that we actually haven't come back and tested it a second time. There is a very real possibility that we come down and we test it a second time. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing that. We would, if we came off of it, went positive. You guys like the doodles? Oh, you're not even looking at the doodles. Let me show you what I'm actually talking about real quick here. Thanks for joining me on the actual chart that I'm discussing. I hope I was alliterative enough for you to understand what was happening without even doing it. Let me back out some of this marking that I just put on there. So these are the channels that we were in last time, right? Again, nothing new. Everybody with eyes can figure this out. We had this gap. We broke through it. And then we kind of like started this. We're starting kind of what in theory is probably going to be our next channel, right? Somewhere between 92 and somewhere between 84. And we're going to hopefully trade within this channel for a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. And it would be nice to firm that up and then do this, the same kind of breakout that we did here. We broke out. Can you guys see the green? Is it clear enough? We broke out. I can do a little bit larger size, I guess. We came down and we retested right there. And then we elevated higher. And we have not come down to retest that 84 level since. We tested around 86, 87, but we have not gone all the way back to 84. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do have a little bit of a pullback down to that 84 range. If we do, what we want to see, if we're bullish, we want to see it bounce off the 84 and then go back and start establishing new highs after it kind of retraces that. So that would be the support level that we want to establish, and that would be good, healthy. We'd be, I don't know about you, I would be happy with it. I think everybody would be happy with it. It is what it is. Yeah, PF is proof and MS is mint state. Yes, Greg Olson, thanks for clarifying that. I don't know if anybody actually asked that or not. I've not been keeping up with the chat. Once I get charting, boys, when I get in the charts, I don't look back. You know, it's just too much fun. We've had a few people subscribe tonight as well. If you're here, thank you, Ben. Thank you, Manuela Rita. Thank you, Jetrex Detroit and Mr. POTUS 5000. That's pretty funny. Is that like Andre 5000, but Mr. POTUS 5000? I like it. Like it. Nice name, dude. Michael's still up on last Friday close. 59 to 92. Now currently at 67 to 16 with a hammering. The Chinese are whoever's trying to beat silver down. A pullback would be refreshing. Off-topic question. What's the difference between, silver stacker? Oh, yeah. So somebody answered your question, Silver, but I just saw it, and I apologize. If I missed a question that's important to you, do not worry about. Ask it again. Ask it a second time. Ask it a third time. I will try to get to all the questions the best I can. I'll answer them the best I can. And if I don't have an answer or I don't know, I will literally just say, can anybody in chat help you out? You know? But yes, so I think it's PF and PR is the two different like major grading companies. PF and PR are for proof coins that are graded. So a PR or a PF 70 means that it's basically a perfect proof coin. MS 70 would essentially be a perfect graded coin, if that makes sense. So again, appreciate all of you guys subscribing. You guys really do make this worthwhile. So Cat Corn, thanks for coming in here as well.
So I hope that helps. And thank you to, I lost it here, but better charting than John Madden. Yeah, you're gonna see right here. There's gonna be, this guy's gonna be a brick wall, and it's gonna be like a fridge coming through the middle of the lane. Yeah, exactly, exactly. All right. The Fed is the U.S. is going to announce in the next 3 to 4 weeks. This will cause a sell-off again. Stocks across the board are going down. Yeah, Mr. POTUS, I've heard a lot. I mean, I was extremely bearish on the stock market in 2025, expecting 2026 to be a horrible year. In fact, I moved 90% of my investments into low risk, stable income funds and some bond funds to just simply generate income with a very low alpha, if that makes sense. So if the stock market goes down 5%, I would be going down like 1 to 2%, right? So very, very low alpha. And that was my plan. But let's be real. If you guys want to get down and dirty, in May, something big happens. Jerome Powell will no longer be the Federal Reserve Chair, and President Donald J. Trump will appoint somebody to the most powerful position in the entire world. That is going to be very friendly to his desires and needs, right? And so my expectation would be that we're going to see a drastic amount of rate cuts. We're going to see rate cuts faster than we would have under Powell, more than 2 this year, which is, I think they projected 2 rate cuts at like half a percentage point. I think we're going to see more like a full percentage point down, if not more. Quantitative tightening has already, quote unquote, ended, and quantitative easing has actually begun, even though it's not exactly like full bore, full steam ahead, but it has already started happening. And I've already heard rumor mill, pure speculation, that in the background, the Federal Reserve has already been trying to support and bail out some larger banking institutions that have taken on bad debt already. So anyway, I mean, repossessions are up. There's a lot of like negative economic indicators. I just truly think that, I don't know. I truly think that CPI is going to continue to be artificially held down so that people don't think that the cost of living is going up. Inflation is going to be, the numbers are going to be fake even more. We all know it's higher than they actually, declare it. Unemployment is going to, quote unquote, be improved, even though we know it's not. And then there's just going to be all these things that just pump the economy artificially. So we'll see it. We'll see it happen. I don't know. My friend and I started a funny clothing line. We were traveling in Egypt and went to a market, saw a golden coin with POTUS inscribed in it. So we just started saying POTUS to each other. Oh, that was for your name, Mr. POTUS 5000. Got you. There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, Greg Olson, thank you so much. BlackRock has entered the chat. Yeah, Shiny Rock has countered BlackRock. I like it, Serpents. I like it. Those rates will cause a sell-off. Then the market will rally again. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I feel like we're going to push through and be out there. He already appointed Powell. They will still have to vote on it. Just because they bring in a dumbass doesn't mean he'll tank the economy further. I didn't say that he was going to tank the economy. I think that they're going to be supportive of whatever the president would like and whatever the banking advisors would like them to do. I mean, I know it's still a board of people that make votes and stuff, but at the end of the day, there's going to be persuasiveness that's going to bleed into it. I think that it's going to cause much more inflation is what I think is going to happen, which is going to make assets go up, including real estate, gold and silver, your stock market. Everything is going to kind of trickle up with it. A++ afford a hillbilly. There we go. I don't know what that means, but I'm with you. So anyway, yeah, so that's what we want. I do expect, we'll probably end up somewhere right in this range on Friday, going to the extended weekend. And it wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be a bad thing, guys, if we go down on Tuesday or Wednesday and we test 84, 85 again, and we hopefully spring back off of it, and we can form an actual like double bottom sort of here in this level. And then we would have a little bit more confidence going into it. So in the next month or so, I would expect we're probably in like the 98 range. I would expect we're in like the $98 an ounce range in the next month or so. I still stand by. I think March is going to be where we see D-Day in silver, and that's where we're going to see that $100 silver mark happen. $100 silver to me is going to provide a very massive, massive psychological barrier. I think a lot of people will start be shouting, is this the top? Is this the top? I think, I don't know. I just feel like the COMEX is going to do something shady in March to restrict the ability to receive physical metals, and they're going to, I don't know, they're going to do something. I feel like something's going to happen in March that's going to cause massive volatility in this market. And that's why I think that $100 is going to be a very heavy resistance point, very similar to what happened back here in whatever August, September, or October, November, where we got like pummeled by 50 for a couple weeks. I feel like this is going to be what happens at 100. And if we're going to have that 20-30% correction that a lot of people expect, because that's what the 1 year chart looks like and that's what the 5 year chart looks like this is just unnatural. This is an unhealthy growth. Like, it's just too much too fast. Now, is it warranted from decades of suppression? Sure, maybe. But I wouldn't be surprised to see us get pulled back to that 75 range or 65 range. If it's going to happen, I think it's going to happen after the March contracts blow up the system. That's just, again, not financial advice. This is just my speculative gut feeling on the market and what's going on and how it's been moving over the last 2 years. And I'm a little bit more of a risk-averse guy. So for me, I'm cautious when I see these kinds of things. And I just kind of like, just go a little smoother, go a little slow. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit that one. Just go a little smoother, right? But I am swapping from silver to gold myself, because I feel like if this crash does happen, right? If this crash does happen, I feel like the gold chart is going to be a lot more calm on the way down. And therefore, I will have more time to sort of make a decision with what I want to do with my metals. To play, like, I wouldn't have to like react instantly, be like, oh, should I sell some and lock in the profits and then buy it back when it goes down, 10, 20 more bucks. I'd have more time with gold. That's all. We'll see. You're still okay with a pullback to 53 in my paper passed? I don't know about 53. I think that would be a tough pill for people to swallow, especially these new stackers. I mean, all markets have a flush out period, right? I mean, it sucks. I don't want people to get wiped out, especially people who have caught on to the hype train in the last year, and they've spent a lot of their money and they've transferred assets into it because they want to ride it up or they got excited. I don't want to see them get wiped out. You know what I mean? As long as it's like a slow enough trickle down, that people can react, that's great. But I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be click, 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 as we've gone up the roller coaster, and then eventually it's going to be whee on the way back down. We'll see what happens. Went to swap. Oh, Greg Olson, you went to go swap silver for gold, but there was no gold there to trade. Interesting. Okay. All right, real Mike Petty, he said he went from 98%. Oh, sorry. Okay, 98% gold, silver to 90 to 10. It's all for fun and wealth building anyway. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's the other thing that a lot of people forget. Like, it's not so serious. That why so serious? Like, it's just money, man. It's just precious metals. It's just markets. Don't get too emotionally attached to it. Even though, like, again, it's hard. That's hard to do if it's your entire life savings in there. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I've been pretty candid about this, but silver and gold are less than 5% of my total asset allocation for my net worth. So, while I do think it's important and I want money to go up and I want digits to go up, it was never a play for me to make money off of. This was the play for me to not lose money. You know what I mean? This was the spot I wanted to be, to not lose money. I didn't care if it went up. The fact that it went up was just an added bonus. So I am more than expecting a pullback, in which case I will be buying more on the way down than I'm buying on the way up right now. I always liked silver, but never went for it over gold the past 15 years because it was too heavy. Yeah, I'm Mike Petty. I mean, I had a good friend of mine who's a very, very, very wealthy, influential individual, and when I was talking to him about gold and silver a while back, he flat out told me, he's like, why are you even messing with silver? He's like, I've been there, I've done that. It's just way too much to manage to get any real money into it. You got to get a whole bunch of weight and you got to like secure it and vault it and all this stuff. He's like, just buy gold, man. He's like, just buy gold. I didn't listen to him. I mean, I listened to his advice, but I didn't act on his advice. And I ended up buying a crap load of silver at like $18 to $25 an ounce. It ran up to $70 an ounce, and I started trading it for gold and buying gold. And now I'm primarily buying gold, and I'm also trading some of my more undesirable 90% into gold. Some of the 90% stuff that I don't collect, that like quarters and dimes, I'm trading that for gold because I collect half dollars. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but that's kind of what I'm doing. I saw one silver mine out of Vancouver. Canada's stock price went up almost 100. I mean, I made, if anybody cares, like nobody cares like about this probably, but I made a 25% gain in 5 hours today trading Hecla mining right at the open. I bought options in it when it opened down like 5 or 6%, and it rebounded to be up like 5 or 6%. And that 10% swing made me a lot of money on options. So, I mean, there's ways to trade the markets. Again, not financial advice. Where's the button? Press the button. Press the button. Not that button. Wrong button. Press the button. This button. Press that button right there. But yeah, again, not financial advice here. It's just that I think that there's ways to trade it without really. Well, I don't know what's going on with my screens. I'm sorry for the freaking whiplash. The whiplash you're suffering from right here. Can this work real quick? We're gonna try it one more time. Hello? Got it. And hello. There we go. That's what we wanted. There's ways to trade these markets without giving up your physical silver, is all I'm trying to say. You can go out there and find what's best for you, if that's what you're into. But if you're into the whole set it and forget it, buy it and hold it, I respect it. I respect it. I'm going to wait to get into silver until a week or so. I know there will be a pullback. Mr. POTUS, so you're just now looking into, you've been buying gold, right? You said, right? So it's wrong and needing correction for the value of your silver to rise. What about the insane rises they put on utility bills and food? Are they going to correct them prices? I mean, that's a little different, right? You're talking about a bill, right? You're talking about a service that has a cost to it, and that cost increases over time with inflation, right? So you don't now, Michael, if your utility bill went up like this in 5 years, or even 1 year went up like this, I think you've got a right to riot against your energy provider, and that's some BS, and y'all should be going after them about that, right? You get my point? Because it's understandable that a service with the increased costs, right? The increased labor, all that stuff, insurance, all blah, 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 is going to go up over time. And it won't probably ever come down unless there's a catastrophic depression that lasts like 5 years, which would be bad for everybody. This is a commodity, right? This isn't something that you have to own or you need to own. This is just a commodity that's being traded. So it can absolutely have growth like this, and it can absolutely tank, because what'll happen, how it tanks, is if people sell contracts for less than they are currently priced, the price will go down. If people buy contracts for less than it's currently priced, it will continue to go down. And the only number that will stop it from going any further down is 0. So, yes, it can go up crazy, but it can also come down crazy, right? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Physical supply is a key. What is the actual numbers? Yeah, Barry, shoot, I wish we had the real numbers. I wish somebody out there could give us legitimate real numbers that were like cross-verified and like independently audited. We don't really know. At least I don't know of a factual place to get that information. We just do the best educated guesses we can. We have people out there, quote unquote, reporting on it. Who knows what they're actually doing or how they're getting this information, but we just do the best that we can. Don't put your life savings on it. That's for sure. Absolutely great advice. Only put in what you are willing to lose. Yeah, that's what you should do, kind of all investments. But I also think that you should diversify between asset classes because, I mean, today's market, everything's kind of moving in conjunction. Stocks, crypto, metals, real estate's not really. The only commodity really that I see that's not necessarily moving in conjunction with everything is like oil. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see. If there is a pullback with silver, do you think it will be within the next week or 3 weeks? I do not, Mr. POTUS. I think it's going to be, I'll keep saying this. I think the big pullback will happen either Q2 or end of summer. I think that's when we would see a real pullback. I'm not somebody who thinks that 2026 we're going to end at the $309 mark or anything like that. I think we end 2026 around like 85 or so. I think we have a pretty big run up, and I think we start to have the real pullback, and then we stabilize somewhere in the middle. Just new to the silver game this week. Got money on the sidelines and waiting. All right, man. I hope you get an entry point. I would say we just talked about it for a while. American Silver Eagle 2026. I'm taking a shot on it. I bought one graded today, or I don't even know what day it was. Today or yesterday. I think it was today. Can't remember. I bought an MS70 graded. You can get a first off the line. You can get a graded one. I'm convinced right now. Everything is pointing to me that there's probably going to be a lower mintage than normal. So that's what I'm expecting, right? Most of my silver was below $30, but most of us are like, yeah, exactly, Greg Olson. Most people that are watching and engaging, a vast majority on YouTube channels, have probably been in the silver market for quite a while, right? So it's nothing, it is what it is. Maybe the fool will buy silver at these prices. Maybe only a fool. Mr. Upier is saying only a fool would buy silver at these prices. I guess. I don't know, man. There's a lot of people buying. I mean, every single online dealer has something like this. Historical demand will cause shipping delays. Don't call, like, one of these, like, high demand will cause slight processing delays. Money metals, we remain fully. Sorry, there was one of these said literally, don't call us, buy online, we're too busy. Historic demand levels may cause processing and shipping delays. Like, they all say this. So there's a lot of fools out there, I guess. I mean, I'm buying silver still today. If I'm buying it, if I can buy it for like 5-10% back of spot, which I am finding deals primarily through peer-to-peer and auction sites and stuff, I'll buy it. Why not? Yeah, some pre-1964 stuff will not go down. Do the there's numismatic value. There's a lot of good options out there. Walter, have a great night, everyone. Gotta run. Be safe and have a very blessed evening. Thank you, Walter, for checking in. Have a wonderful evening. We are wrapping it up as well here pretty soon here. Lots of people buying and selling right now. Yeah, there's a lot of trade going on. My nickname is Eddie Impatient. You are way too smart for me. Is that the Mr. POTUS out there? 10 to 15% minimum this year for an increase. So what do you guys think? You guys are all asking me, what do you guys think? You have just as much of a right to an opinion about where you think silver's going to go. And we'll kind of like slow things down here, but where do y'all think silver's going to go? I'm going to end the poll and see what's going on here. An ASE is an American Silver Eagle. For the 22% of you that said, what's an ASE? It's an American Silver Eagle. 48% of you said that you buy every single year the American Silver Eagle. 30% of you said, nope, you don't buy them. And then 22% said that you have don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. I traded some silver and cash for another 5-gram gold bar today. Awesome, PJs. You're right there. That's exactly what I'm doing, brother. I'm doing the exact same thing. I got some 2026 ASEs coming. I paid $68 pre-sale for in November. Greg Olson, what a just awesome deal you did right there. Nice job, Greg, picking that up. I mean, you could literally flip those for what, 125, probably 130 if you wanted to. I mean, you got to pay taxes and stuff if you do it like that on eBay or something, but great steal, man. Nice work. We do not know where silver is going to go. That is why we are here to find out. Mr. Up here, what am I supposed to be, like the soothsayer for everybody? Everybody's got an opinion. Yeah, I watch all the other channels too, and we all have opinions, and mine is that we're going to hit $100 around March, and we're going to hit massive resistance at $100, and that it's going to fall back down and probably end around, I think it's going to end the year around $85 or so an ounce. I'm on the bearish side of things. I know a lot of other people are extremely bullish, but I think that we're not counting in the fact that, you know, there's a lot of people that can pull strings that we don't have access to, that have a lot more money and wealth and influence than we do. And if they get tired of having problems, you know, when people like Elon Musk tweet out that this is a problem concerning the price of silver and stuff like that, it makes me concerned that eventually somebody's going to do something to limit the run up of silver. Silver has been up and down since 85 on Christmas Day. I hope it stays sideways. Yeah, it has been, Greg Olson, it has been a wild ride the last few months, that's for sure. I say it's worth buying silver. Wait for the ratio to hit 25 to 1, then you're up huge. That's the plan. So, I mean, if the ratio hits 25 to 1, Brandon, essentially, you know, you're not really up huge unless you sell it or trade it, right? Unless you think it's going to keep going. And if you think it's going to keep going, then the ratio doesn't matter because it's just going to keep going, right? Yeah, sideways would be great. Right? Sideways would be great. Or create new products. Like, yeah, PJs, I heard that too, like 100-ounce contracts. And again, that just changes the game, right? Everyone sells, but what's crazy with silver is the demand is there. I heard all the new Duracell batteries require silver to manufacture. Yeah, I mean, most electronics these days, you know, all of them do pretty much. Exactly. Yeah, okay, Brandon, we're the same. We're one and the same there, Brandon. Gold is my long term as well, buddy. And so I have no problem trading the ratio on the way down. So 50 to 1, 45 to 1, 40 to 1, 35 to 1, it doesn't matter to me. Just trade it, because guess what? If it does rebound and go the other direction and silver tanks and the ratio goes back to 60 to 1, I'd be smacking myself for not trading it in at like 45 to 1, you know? So I just dollar cost into my gold pretty much. But yeah, I mean, that was the discussion I wanted to have with you guys today. We had an awesome audience, man. New people, a lot of new names in here, a lot of new subscribers coming in. Thank you for the gifted subscriptions as well. Again, we're trying to determine the core of this conversation today was try to understand, where is there going to be a silver 2026 American Silver Eagle production shortage or mintage shortage? And my guess is that yes, there will be, because of they're probably going to have planchet procurement issues. They've already got issues with pricing, and they've already got suspended sales, which means demand is going to, I mean, we know demand is like really, really high. There's just a lot of things. London is having problems because the LBMA is running out of silver as well. China is not, you know, exporting silver like they used to. Sure, we captured Venezuela, but, you know, who knows how fast or how much silver we can pull from them. And there's just a lot of things. And then Dubsy dropped knowledge that there were only 300 2025 Mexican Libertads minted. So they obviously had a shortage. So there's a lot going on out there, guys. We got a lot to think about. But if you're new to this channel, we do this about 3 times a week, typically on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I will go back to probably 4 or 5 days a week when I get done coaching lacrosse. That will be in 3 or 4 months from now. Practices kind of pick up, so if I'll either do them later or some other time if I have a conflict. But yeah, this is my channel. We just talk. You know, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I am not trying to preach to you. I'm just telling you what's on my mind, the things that I'm doing, the actions, the things that I see. If you disagree with it, this is the place for you to come in and say, you're full of it. I don't believe anything you say. And I'll be like, you know what? You might be right. Let me look into it, right? So open forum, open discussion. Your voice is heard. Your opinion's heard. It matters. So it's not therapy, but I do appreciate all the communication that you guys have. So anyway, yeah, let me switch back over to the coin cam for you. There's some American Silver Eagle cleavage for you on the way out. Appreciate you. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Next time you're in the live, make sure you say hello, good morning, and let us know. Let us know what you're thinking about the current silver markets. If you're excited, not excited, what you think. You know, there's no wrong answer here. Thank you so much. Enjoy the fantastic music on the way out. Again, thank you for all the subscriptions, the chat support, the likes, the channel memberships. You guys are the best. Bye-bye for now. Peace.